as we looked at the words that were most predictive, it wasn't always obvious. Finally, these general ideas are applicable to other kinds of prediction tasks, and I'll show you a few examples. You can probably come up with lots of your own. The first one that's kind of the most similar is another prediction task. So if you're selling products to customers, you might want to predict whether that customer is going to turn to your competitor for similar products or stay with you. So that's called churn prediction. Another area is upsell prediction. So might I be able to sell you a more expensive version of your laptop or your coffee maker? Finally, is there somebody that I can take away from my competitor and acquire a new customer for myself? And so there's a lot of semi-structured data, both in and outside of your organization, that you might be able to leverage to do this. For example, call center transcripts or technician notes or bug reports. Again, you can use predictive models and the constraint of the task to help you focus on the right kind of data to look at in these semi-structured data. Forms processing I've already talked a lot about in my first case study, but there's a lot of other types of forms that you might want to extract business value from. This is becoming more common in the medical industry as they move more towards electronic medical records. A third area that's moving a little bit farther down towards the unstructured end of the continuum is routing documents or email throughout your organization. So if you have huge amounts of documents that come in that are large and complex, you don't want to read them all to decide who in your organization they should be routed to. But there's emerging techniques that, given your company's taxonomy and who knows about what, you can categorize these documents and then send them right to the perfect subject matter expert. Finally, moving even closer to the unstructured end of the continuum and a little more towards the external data sets. You can think about customer experience improvement. You might have heard this catchphrase, voice of the customer, right? Listening to your customers and trying to address their needs, trying to focus more on responding to improving your products based on how your customers are reacting to them. So again, you can extract data from call center transcripts, even from blogs, social media, there's sentiment analysis techniques that can figure out who's talking about your product, what are they talking about it, and what to do with it. So, in conclusion, I hope I've convinced you that there's a lot of value in semi-structured data. It's not necessarily more valuable than your current enterprise data warehouses, but if you leave that data, that semi-structured data lying on the table, or maybe I should say if you leave it outside the table, you're leaving behind a little bit of value that you can leverage for your business. But finding that information, understanding it, can be difficult. But just like any story, there's a resolution here. There's the ability to exploit the structure of that data. I talked about in the first task of many of these structured data sets still have some numbers in them, so maybe you can take advantage of arithmetic or conventions of how that data is used, cross-references between different instances of that data. And then you can also take advantage of the task at hand in order to constrain what you're looking for. I didn't talk too much about linguistic patterns, but as natural language processing techniques evolve, there are even better ways to exploit that context. So at Deloitte, we have the business and industry expertise, the analytics expertise, and the understanding of how you make your business decisions in order to help you move down that continuum from structured to unstructured data. So, and help you answer your business questions. So hopefully I've answered all your questions, but if not, I'll take a few.